know, I'm gonna say up front, I think I gave this album a fair shot, and I'm beginning to think that that was maybe a little bit generous. Hi there everyone, welcome back to On the Flip Side. My name is Adam Shawwalker, your host, and today we're gonna be checking out this new album from Five Finger Death Punch, Afterlife. I knew I was going to have to cover this album. I wasn't really looking forward to it, but I wanted to try to really give it my best shot, my honest opinion. When I was in elementary school, maybe through early middle school, I was figuring out a lot of my music taste. For reference, the first CD I bought with my own money was And Justice for All by Metallica, and after that, United Abominations by Megadeth, as well as Greatest Hits Back to the Start. And what I would do is I would just burn through CDs, initially on a Sony Walkman CD player. Then, when I got my first 2-gig iPod, I'd burn them to my brother's iTunes library and go through tons of albums. And one of the albums that I eventually picked up was 2007's The Way of the Fist. And I did the same thing with that album. I ripped it to iTunes and I gave it my full attention. And even then, in my youth-addled mind, something never really clicked. Around the same time, I had gotten pretty into System of a Down, Disturbed, and a lot of other like late 90s and 2000s nu metal bands. But Five Finger Death Punch, even on their first album, which I'd argue isn't really even an awful record, it just didn't quite fit in with the music, the angsty music that I was immersing myself with. And this was past angst and into something else that never really felt like it resonated with me. And as an adult, I can kind of look back on it and think it's just because it never felt all that genuine. And that sentiment that I only felt the inklings of as a wee baby have only grown more over the years. Mind you, I don't generally go out of my way to listen to Five Finger Death Punch, but these guys, love it or hate it, are just so big that their music is just completely inescapable. A few years ago, the sound system in my car at the time went out and the only thing that would work was the radio. So at the time, not knowing that the local jazz radio station Kuvo Jazz was a thing and also that it was really good, I would tune into the big iHeartRadio rock and metal station because it was better than silence. But this was 2016, so what you ended up hearing was tracks like Metallica's Hardwired, their new single at the time, that fucking Volbeat track, The Devil's Bleeding Crown, Nikki Sixx's radio show where he would always do those like top 10 lists and then would always put his own band, 6 a.m. at the top of the list, and then in like a stunning display of douchebaggery would like give thanks to other bands who were on the list. But anyway, and last but not least, you would hear Five Finger Death Punch with their edgy boy anthem, Jekyll and Hyde. And the brilliance of that song, it's just so catchy that it's just immediately obnoxious. God, I thought that the writing was bad, but here we are, we've got this new album, Afterlife, and man, I can say pretty confidently the writing has not gotten any less annoying. Though I will say this, I don't hate most of the instrumental work here, and the production work, while it is squeaky clean, is actually pretty good for a mainstream metal or rock album. Most of my gripes here are with the lyrics, which are consistently, well, they feel like the music version of a barbed wire tattoo, Oakley sunglasses, and a Blue Lives Matter Punisher skull sticker slapped right onto the back of a pickup truck. Something about Ivan Moody's voice is just so frustrating to me because I don't think I hate it, but it's used so painstakingly blandly and predictably. It's like the post-Fall of Ideals All That Remains era where Phil Labonte just kind of gave up. That's what like most of the vocal work sounds like here, except even a lot of the All That Remains stuff in comparison, while I'm not a big fan of it, at least it sounds like maybe there's some drive in Phil's delivery. Here though, again, it just sounds like Moody is just clocked the fuck out. Anyway, we've been very general up until this point, so let's get into the specifics. I'd like to state again, I went into this album with more of an open mind than I would have normally. I really would have loved to have been surprised, but as soon as Welcome to the Circus starts, the slight amount of hope that I was holding on to just very quickly left. This opening track, Welcome to the Circus, literally starts with samples of maniacal Joker-like laughter and then immediately goes into this overblown anti-mask We Live in a Society track that starts with the line, "Welcome to the shit show." Yes, welcome to the shit show indeed. Then Mr. Moody proceeds to rhyme body with body no less than 5 times. And the lyrics here don't really matter anyway. If you're the type of person that these lyrics really resonate with, you need to get your head checked because these suck. The chorus is, am I the only one who doesn't buy into the lies? Am I the only one who doesn't wear a disguise? Look, anti-mask rhetoric aside, remove the context of the pandemic entirely, and these lyrics are like middle school levels. You cannot tell me that the writing here is anywhere past juvenile at best. And like I said, I don't hate the instrumentals, though I certainly don't love them. The chorus especially has this big, swingy collection of riffs that are, in the words of one Lars Ulrich, a little bit stock. The title track, Afterlife, starts with this very reverbed out acoustic guitar, which then goes into these glitched out, way overproduced drums. And I know I made that All That Remains comparison earlier, but these vocals, aside from like the really overdramatic spoken word parts, it's just checking all of the mainstream metal boxes one by one. It is so frustrating listening to this track because I can already tell that this song, if it isn't already huge on the radio from it being like a single or something, I figure it's going to be obnoxiously big. And it's not as downright bad as the last song, but I would not choose to go out of my way to listen to this. Times Like These is a pop country track with some hard rock touches. This is no better than any of the material off of the latest fucking Shinedown record. The whole song summed up seems to be about how hopeless the world seems and how badly Ivan Moody wants to fade away because the world is a scary place. Wah, shut the fuck up. You don't get to try and play the sensitive tough guy act when your main audience are cops. Fuck you. Roll Them Bones feels a bit like they're doing their damnedest to do like a Slipknot impression, especially on the verses for this track, which, I mean, I swear they're ripping Duality, but I can't quite be sure. If someone knows what I'm talking about, I'm like 99% sure that the riff in this track is from a Slipknot song. I just can't remember which song off the top of my head. Post it in the comments. Pick Up Behind You. Again? I don't really have anything much to say about this track. It's another unremarkable picking up the pieces style track, and I feel like this song and songs like it should have their own category where everyone knows what it's about and kind of just knows to skip these songs because frankly they're really lame. Judgment Day is a rap track. What the fuck is going on this album anymore? You gotta watch for the shot, beware the ricochet, dance dance motherfucker till the fat bitch sings, 1 for the chamber, 2 for good health, 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name. Wait, that's not right. Okay, I said rap track, but that's not entirely accurate. I mean the delivery for these lines aren't really rapping, they're kind of rhyming a bit, but the main thing is that this beat is just like a fucking blasted out, like, trap beat mixed with some rock production. I hate this. IOU again feels like the main riff is ripping from some Slipknot track. The guitar solo on this track is actually pretty good. It's maybe a little bit too Zakk Wylde for my taste, but hey, it's still not bad. Thanks for Asking is another pop country track, 2 on 1 album. I know I'm saying pop country and that might be a slight stretch, but this checks all the same boxes. There are Justin Timberlake tracks that go harder than this. No hate to my boy JT. Blood and Tar actually has some moments that I don't hate and kind of like. There are very, very brief moments where everything does come together pretty nicely. It does kind of remind me at points of some of the other, like, older Korn material. All I Know is another ballad. They can't keep getting away with this. This track is like they heard Lead Sails in a Paper Anchor by Atreyu and said, yeah, let's just do that, but bad. Gold Gutter, I'm sure was written as kind of a crush 'em up, beat 'em up mosh track for any, like, broken old 40-year-old dudes running around out of breath in the audience. The song starts out with this very spirited, oh shit, you know what time it is. I don't think I need to say anything more, it's too much. The end, mercifully, is. That is all. I know I spent a lot of this review just absolutely shitting on this album, but realistically, this album, while I will still never listen to it again, still managed to exceed some of my expectations. While I cannot say that I loved any songs here and actually hated most, there are moments in these tracks where you can tell that there is a good idea in there somewhere, just buried under a pile of way overdone, tacky writing choices and bad lyricism. Five Finger Death Punch are really one of those bands where I don't think that they deserve all of the hate that they get. I do, however, think that they earn a pretty good chunk. I think Afterlife is a pretty solid 2. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you guys thought of this album in the comments below, and remember to like and subscribe, and check out my Instagram, my Reverb, and my Depop. Links to those are in the description below. Thank you all so much again, and we'll see you on the flip side.